I think that this is deep.
Welcome to the Empower Hour. We bring power to the people because the people have the power. This squad's going to entertain, enlighten, and empower y'all. I'm Queen Kaya, joined by Pharaoh Hammond Freeman and Gina the Great. But before we do anything else, like always, we're going to bless this show and our kings and queens listening.
Blessed melanated rising, my people. I am so grateful to life. I'm grateful to God, our creator, and I'm grateful to our ancestors for creating this opportunity for us to be able to get together today. And I just ask that the time that we spend, let it be very uplifting. Let it be very inspiring. Let it be educational, encouraging. Most importantly, let it be empowering for each and every one of our listeners. And I'm just sending out that spirit of love, light, unity, strength, great health, wealth, peace, and joy to each and every one of our listeners. Hotep, amen, and ashe.
Ashe. Good morning.
Blessed melanated rising, Gina.
Good morning, good afternoon, good night.
You already know, yo. We here 247. We're just talking offline, but we don't sleep. Team no sleep. Woo! Shout out to Blaster. What?
I want to be team sleep.
I know. No, I know. And I'm getting up there in age. We need to stop this.
But it must be something in the air because things are kind of there's a glitch in the system. There's a glitch in the system. As this week was going relatively good ish. I say ish. I'm not gonna lie. I think this week and last weekend, so the energy is just on par. It's 2 for 2 right now. Like I was talking with my sister the other day. I was just like, I think I need a break from people.
Amen.
As a whole, because I was just getting frustrated a lot with different people, and then that means that I'm holding them up to expectations that they're not meeting, and I have no right.
Talk about it.
And B, that just means I need a timeout. I need a timeout from the world. So, it was just like, so it's not answering the phones, it's not doing these things, it's being lazy on the couch and watching TV. It's just taking the walk, because I that was another thing too. At one point, I was in the house all day, I didn't go outside. And it's a little easier to do that now that I'm in a condominium versus before, where you're just even if I kind of just go and put my garbage outside, I don't even need to do that. There's a garbage chute. Right. So I'm shielded from everything winter, and even if I need to do things, I can go in my car in the garage and go to the grocery store that has a garage too, and go in there. I don't even put my winter jacket on.
Wow.
I wasn't breathing outside air. And I'm just okay, no, and my place isn't as clean as I like it to be. So that's this weekend to do. So I was just oh yeah, these are all telltale signs that we need a timeout, regroup. You know what I mean? Really, coach, call me in, bring me in, and and so it's getting better. But I have to say that God is always on time, and the universe hears what you're saying. Because while it's okay, I understand you need this moment off, just don't get completely cut off, and just know there's people out there. Because I was getting random texts from just random texts on, because certain people too. I was just yo, at the end of the day, I'm gonna need you to. A relationship is a two-way street and everything that you do, right? So it can't always be me who's reaching out. It can't always be me looking out, especially I know that anyway, I'm not gonna get into that because then it identifies certain people, but
I don't say yes, spill the tea, Gina. I was listening.
Go on. But at the end of the day, I start getting texts and just hey, what's up? How's it going? Well, I'm all right, okay. I hear you, I get it. I'm gonna take this moment, but I'm not gonna completely disconnect, because I can do that very easily. But it's just all right, take your moment, but there's still love out there, and come back stronger, basically. Yeah. And then so that was just my week. And then we had a little family meeting on my mom's side of the family. Nice. Went on quite late last night, but you got to go these things. It takes the village. And here we are this morning.
Talk about it. So I'm sure Queen Kaya is going to be joining us anytime now, but so my week, well, let me see. First, shout out to us. We had a dope photo shoot last Sunday. Shout out to us, the photographer, George. So you guys stay tuned. You guys are gonna be seeing some dope pics coming out soon. So that was that. What else did I do? Shout out to Sirius Savage, the DJ, also known as Peaches for those who don't know, or that's her old school name, but whatever be the case. I went out to her birthday. Like, actually, like last week, c'était super chargé, yo. Like, now I'm thinking about it. Like, yo, the Saturday. So, and the thing is, it's kind of mushy in my brain, but it's like, I know Saturday morning, my son had a basketball game out near the American border. I got nervous when the GPS was like, yo, you're going to need your passport. First of all, the GPS only tells you this like 15 minutes before you get to the destination. But then I'm like, wait, what do you mean I'm going to need my passport? Man's I'm can't cross the border. GPS, what are you talking about? And I look at my son, I'm like, yo, I thought you said it was before the border. He's like, yo, the coach said it before the border. Anyways, it was so close to the border that the GPS thought we were on the other side of the border. Because even when we got to the school, didn't have to cross the border. It was like, welcome to the United States. I'm like, stupid phone. God damn it.
Heart palpitations, heart failure.
Yeah, my palms are sweating. I'm like, God damn it. Yo, I'm like, this is not. Anyways, so that was that all kind of stories. So that was dope. It was a tournament actually, and my son's team came out on top, number one. Like they are a really strong team. I got to give them a huge shout out. Big shout out Centennial Regional High School in South Shore. They're just crushing it. So big shout out to the big man. Big shout out to Caden, Khalil, Huey on the team. Actually, everybody on the team. Big shout out, and the coaches are awesome as well. So big shout out to all of them. It's cool to see the team spirit. It's good to see everybody encouraging each other. So that's really dope. And so again, big shout out to them. No shout out to Tim Hortons because I bought a egg muffin or whatever they're called, Tim Matin.
Okay,
you ever open a Tim Matin wrap and bread is moldy? You ever seen that? I saw that. Yeah. You see how you gag in there? Yeah, it was nasty. There was like blue mold on it, and I was like, my G. Like I had to. Yeah, I know.
No, you're literally gonna make me throw up. I can't do. You should know by now. I don't do that. I can't do that. I'm hot. I'm fully hot right now. Jesus.
I'm like, and I'm looking at my son. I'm like, yo. I'm like, imagine I wasn't paying attention and I just bit into this. I was like, yeah. I was like, in Jesus' name. I was like, yo, anyways. So that like and I was huh?
It's not the first time you've had a food issue.
I know, but I don't know what it is, man. But they're lucky I'm in great spirits, or I was in great spirits at the time. They're lucky, like, because the week got worse. But they're lucky it was early. I was happy. I was in a good mood. I just brought it back to them all, happily. And I was like, yeah, no, it's okay. They gave me a refund and they gave me another sandwich. Fine. But they're lucky because I couldn't take it. I could take a bunch of pictures.
Sandwich.
Huh?
Why'd you take the other sandwich? That's crazy.
What? Why did I get another sandwich?
Yeah, I want a refund. I don't want anything out of your store.
Yeah, no, they did give me a refund and they offered me another sandwich. I didn't blame them. It's like the workers there. I should have blamed them, but I should have because technically it's the workers there that's guys. How are you going to give me a moldy sandwich?
Have you not see the mold in the pita before?
That's what I'm saying. And the bread, those egg muffins. What are they called? I
don't know. I don't eat Tim Hortons.
I keep calling them egg muffins, but anyways, English muffins. That's what they're called. But the English muffins are like white. So how do you not see blue-green mold all over it? Like, and it was anyways. But I'll digress on that because that was only one part of the day. After that, we beat road. We come back. We get back into the city. We get fresh. And then we head to West Haven. Big shout out to West Haven. They celebrated their 50th anniversary, yo. 50 years of supporting youth in the community and doing all kind of awesome things. So big shout out to West Haven. They had their thing. We took part in that. Then shout out to Westcan because then right after that, Westcan had their sip and paint.
I saw pictures of that.
Yeah, trust me. I like you wouldn't see me in any pictures because I was very in and out. I was there at the beginning, there at the end. But
I saw a picture with you in it.
Yeah, okay, I was in and out, but it was blessed. I was blessed that they caught me. Oh, right, true, at the end. I was taking a picture and with her beautiful picture. But big shout out to them. I love the way Westcan does these social activities for their members and for their the participants and stuff. Again, this is just a random plug, but if your child is not in Westcan, I don't know what you're doing. West Can is helping to keep the culture alive, guys. So a big shout out to ballet, jazz, hip hop classes, and all those things. But make it a point to get your children into some Afro-Caribbean drumming and dancing. Just infuse that piece of culture in them. And you're welcome. So then after that, the night wasn't done. That's what I'm saying. It's like, yo, I became a youngster again, Gina. I was
okay.
I went from there, went down TZ to go.
Not down TZ. I can't with you. I can't. That you just unyoungstered yourself. Right there.
Oh, they don't say that? That's not what
no.
That's not. I thought that was still a thing. Okay. Anyway, so anyways, I went down to pick up my ticket for the one and only Serious Savage's birthday party. And just again, random, but not random at all. So peep this. When I'm leaving from picking up the ticket, I'm literally step outside the door. Right in front of me, like literally in front of me, is my Uncle Robbie. I haven't seen my Uncle Robbie in years. Like I'm like, Robbie? and he's so not expecting me. He just says good night and keeps walking. And I'm like, hey, Robbie. And when he hears me actually say his name clearly, he turns, he's like, oh my gosh. I'm like, I know, right? Yo, what's like, because you guys understand, there's no flukes, no coincidences. We both could be anywhere in the world, right? Yeah. And it just so happens I left West Can at a particular time, went upstairs at a particular time to get my ticket, came back downstairs at a particular time, and caused me to completely cross with Robbie. Because moments after, he would have been past me. I would have looked left. He would have went to my right because I parked left. So I would have just came out, went left. He walked past right, and that would have been that. But anyway, so just to say, it was dope to see him. I haven't seen him in years.
Yeah, if you hadn't seen him in years, I hadn't seen him in years.
Yo, trust. So that was it was really cool, and we both said, "Yeah, there's no flukes, no coincidences. The fact that we're seeing each other is blessed." Let's took a moment to catch up and lime a little bit. Went back to West Can, and then went to the Fed, and it was dope. It was cool to see Peaches. But I'm gonna say, guys, I'm gonna be really, really real with you guys. I tapped out early. I didn't even get to stay to the full Fete to really experience, because if you guys heard the beginning of this journey, it started in the wee hours in the morning because Huey had to be at near the border for 7:30. So we had to leave at I think you had to be there for 8, so we had to leave at 6:30. Mind you, I had
were you leaving from the South Shore? At least
leaving from the South Shore.
Okay.
But I had just came in from the cottage at 4 a.m. So,
ouch.
So it was I just basically took a nap, bounced back up, all right, let's do this, right? So by the time I got to Peaches's thing, I'm at the wall. I'm at the wall, and I had to catch myself when I did a little lean up, and I felt like my eyes blinked too long, and I was like, yo, did anybody peep that? Did anybody peep that? Yeah, I was like, yo, I don't know, but I can't be in these streets playing like I'm sleeping in the club. So
that reminded me. Sorry to interject. That reminded me when I went to Atlanta with my mom one time, and as soon as we got in, because we left early in the morning because we had to drive to Burlington, and you know what you do when you go to Atlanta, you go to the strip club. But I was like, bro, I'm tired. I don't want to do that. I want to go to sleep. It's like, no, you can't do that. I'm like, okay. So you know what I did? Went there and slept in the club.
In the club? No, why
in it?
In the car, Regina?
No, it wasn't happening. Look, first of all, in the car in the middle of the night in Georgia.
You're right.
That's crazy.
Yeah. You're right. And delete that last part I just said. I was like, wait, no.
That's mad.
You didn't see her in Montreal, but
I went up there. We were in the corner. I held up the wall proper. My mom was like, "You're embarrassing." I was like, "Oh well, it's not my first time here. It's yours." So you go.
I'm a regular. They know me.
No, I've been to Atlanta a few times. They do this every time I come out here. This is not. Woo, okay. I'm going to sleep. I'm tired.
Yeah. No, but I thought you were gonna reminisce about when I used to live in Toronto and we used to overdo the club scene, and we go to Rocky McCool's until it was we were overdoing it.
Do you know I just said Rocky McCool's last month, my G?
Yeah. And it's been years we haven't been there.
There was a mix on the radio. I was in Toronto. When I was in Toronto, there was a mix on the radio. I was just like, what in the Rocky McCool's? It was. And then what was it called? Energy in Burlington.
Right, yo. Anyway, so
Yes.
yeah. So I thought you were about to reminisce about that because I know I got a couple of L's just being too drunk and just overdoing it and sleeping.
Yeah, I know. Jen has had to go get you guys one time, and who was behind the curtain sleeping?
Garnett. Shout out to our boy Garnett.
Oh yeah, that was
yo, man, just sleeping on the floor. Like,
the floor.
You're not even being discreet.
Behind curtains, using the curtains as your cover.
But man's we're seeing
like your blankets.
We're like, yo, is that his feet sticking out from the bottom of the curtain? Anyways, sorry guys. Sorry for all our listeners. You just went down Farrell's memory lanes of overdoing it. But the point is, from when I caught myself with the long blink, I was like, yo, let me just get some fresh air. And my spirit is like, Farrell, stop it. Get in the car and go home, bro. Let's get some fresh air. You're trying to get a refresh to party on where you just like stop it.
No, you came, you saw, you conquered.
You know, and it was out of love because Peaches knows, yo, it's all love because it's like there's only a handful of DJs that I have mad love for all our DJs in the city, but there's only a handful that I would really do what I did. Like Serious Savage is one of them. DJ Blaster's another one. Oh, shout out, wearing Blaster sweater right now. Just always.
Oh yes.
And
that's his goat still.
And Bobby Payne, because Bobby Payne's our boy and he's always thing. But you know, a Quietain party is always good. I'm always down to go check out a Quietain party. But at the same time, yo, if it's like, you know, there's only a handful of DJs that will get the man's going. And if you're not on the list, guys, don't be mad at me. I have love for you as DJs, but you know, it is what it is. So anyway, so that wasn't just my week, That was just one day. But I'll spare you guys. I'll spare you guys the rest of the shenanigans. I do have a question for you later on and show Gina. Well, it's for Kaya too, so I'll wait till she gets on. Cause I need an opinion. I'm going through a thing like I don't know if I'm ODing as a dad or not, but whatever, guys. Like this is a question I'm gonna have, and maybe even our audience could chime in and send us some notes on the Facebook. Or IG.
On the Facebook, I can't.
What? It's not. Anyways, all right, guys. So beautiful.
Next thing he's gonna say hippity hoppity.
Yo, Gina, I just said that before I started the show. It's one of those. So, anyways, beautiful people, stay tuned. We're going to have an amazing show for you guys. Power packed with a bunch of information. We're diving into wealth. Today's show, I'm excited because we're looking at different ways of generating wealth, flipping wealth. We have to diversify our finances. And Gina, how much do you know about the crypto world, cryptocurrency and digital currency?
I know that nothing.
Okay, good. Well, you see, you know where you're starting from, the bottom. So it's just basically, and that's the best way, that's the best way to start, because from there you can only go up. So this is what it is, guys. So stay tuned as we go into a quick little break, and we will be back. No, it's not just because he's my brother. It's because you can't talk hip-hop in Montreal without saying M City Solo. Guys, check out his latest project, In My Fields, available on mcitysolo.com. If it's not one of the hardest new EPs to hit Montreal, come and let me know. You already know. It's your boy, Farrell, bigging up, mcitysolo.com. If you're a small to medium-sized business and you're getting started and you're ready to go to that next level, what do you need? You need a phone line and you need a website. Think Mainstream Digicom. They got all your telecommunication needs checked. MainstreamDigicom.com.
Girl, what are you cooking?
My curry chicken.
Ooh, you're burning it.
Oh, gosh, it looks so...
It's okay, girl. You need the Curry House. They have the best Caribbean food in town. 2 locations in Montreal, West Island, and Côte-Neige. For more information, follow Caribbean Curry House, MTL. Don't forget to mention the Empower Hour for your 10% discount.
So, who placed in the order?
Me.
One full circle. We are the Melanated Community Resource Hub and Network. What does that mean? We're here for each other.
Parlay with the people. Parlay with the people.
Parlay with the people.
Parlay with the people.
Parlay with the people.
Parlay with the people. Parlay with the people.
Parlay with the people.
Parlay with the people, y'all.
And we are back. I am so grateful for this interview today, guys. So like we had mentioned at the beginning of the show, we're in an interesting time where we need to diversify our investments. We need to think outside the box. We need to get up to the times. And right now we're talking digital currency. Digital currency is the times, guys. It's what's coming, and there's no avoiding it. So the best thing to do is to get ahead of it. And I think the guests that we have on with us today they're setting examples. They're showing us, and they're providing tools that we could all use as members of the community. With no further ado, I'd like to welcome brother and sister Fred and Janet Cox to the Empower and to our Parliament with us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. That
you
was
so
a great
much.
introduction.
Good to be here.
It's nice to be here. It's not that warm here in Toronto, but that's how it happens every year. We get snow, we get cold weather, and we just have to live with it. At least we are a lot better than our friends south of here in Buffalo.
Yeah,
6 feet of snow.
So good. So for our listeners, now we're already diving right in, because we like to give an opportunity for you guys to talk a little about your backgrounds. So you're from Toronto.
I always like to say I'm from Jamaica.
Yes.
You know Jamaicans, right?
They got to big up Jamaica, man. No matter where they go.
We're Canadians, right? And Frederick is from Guyana, but I always say he's a wannabe Jamaican.
Okay.
I'll accept that.
Okay, but you know the Guyanese people listening, they'll be like, "What? You accepting that?"
But listen, you know what? Sorry, go ahead.
If I don't, I'll be sleeping on the couch. All right, so I gotta go with the flow, right?
But he's such a contrarian that when we went to visit Guyana, we had a charity mission from our business, and we visited Guyana. And while he was there, I swear to you, my husband talked the whole time about Jamaica. Okay. So he just has to be in the middle of a controversy, okay? And when he's in Jamaica, all he talks about is how great Guyana is. So you get the picture.
Do you all have children?
Yeah, we do. We have 2 wonderful adult kids.
Okay. So that means that your wife has actually had Guyanese in her also.
See?
Well, you know what? And our son, Kofi, he's over. Our son, Kofi, is about 30, what?
33.
33. Yeah. 32, he says, right?
Oh,
anyway,
okay.
I should know. He's 32. And when we ask him which of the countries, who has the best food, he's a real sellout because he says Guyana.
Yeah.
So anyway, you know us, Pharaoh, we could go on and on.
Yes, this is good because it shows your values. It shows what's important to you guys, and I think it's great. And we could segue because what we're talking about right now. So just to introduce the company, so we're talking about a company called Novatech. And what had inspired me about it was really just having an opportunity to connect with you guys and understanding what you guys are about and what your values are, and the fact you guys endorse this platform. I said, you know what, I'm willing to roll the dice, and I'm glad I have, and I'm glad that we're creating this opportunity for the community to come to find out a little bit more about the company and to get involved as well. So if you would be so kind just to share a bit about Novatech for us.
Okay.
When I was first introduced to Novatech, I was skeptical because of past experiences. We've been burned many times, lost lots of money, and we had officially among ourselves, among the family, we said, never again. We don't want to hear anything about it. Forget it. And so out of the blue, someone called us, right?
Yes, I had actually called my friend Rohan,
right,
and talking about something totally different. And because he had been in the program, you know, like we do now, everybody I talk to, I make sure they know about Novatech. And that's what he did. He said, oh, by the way, are you invested in Novatech? And we said, no, not that, but I really don't want to hear about it. But anyway, he sent us the usual videos to look at. And it did not take much convincing for us to get involved. Now, what Novatech, for folks who don't know, is a hedge fund company. And it's actually been managed by a Black family. They hail from Florida, and they have been in businesses much like we have. I have resonated with this couple because in so many ways, they actually remind us in a much bigger way of what we have been through. They have been through many businesses. They've tried things. They've failed. They've succeeded with some. And they were working in companies that they were actually making other companies wealthy. And she said, when I have listened, we have listened to everything on the Novatech site. And what Frederick says about companies, like why we were at first reluctant, is because there are companies out there and you really don't know which are the viable ones, which are the real ones, and which are the scammers. And the scammers look as sophisticated as some of the real ones. So you have to apply the diligence, and you have to take time to study. If you go on the computer right now, you're going to find negative things about Novatech. But I think what you'll find in terms of positive, and if you take the time to investigate and listen and talk and listen to the owners and the people who are involved, you're going to find that the positives way outweigh anything negative online.
As a matter of fact, one of the things that we did before we got involved, we have this friend who owns a trading platform.
Okay.
And I said, I sent him the information. I said, check this company out for me.
Right.
And he came back and he said it's bona fide. Right. He says they are on the Forex exchange, and it's a good company.
But
and that gave us.
I hear you mentioned that, and that you did that background, because a lot of times people they do that surface check where they'll just do the Google, and then they'll say, okay, no, off these reviews here, I'm not going to take the chance. But like just to compare, like we partnered with BNI, which is the largest business networking company on the planet, and you could still Google bad things about BNI, right? But they have 300,000 members.
Yeah.
Obviously something's working, but there's still, you will always find that
you will always have some negative feedback.
And one of the things when you're talking about any kind of investment company, one thing that people have to know, prospective investors, can you lose your money? Because that is what's at the forefront. That it's the fear of losing your hard-earned income that keeps people away from companies like this. And the good thing is, in North America or in most of the world right now, anytime you talk about an investment, you have to give the disclaimer, because can you lose your money? Yes, you can.
Yeah.
The possibility always exists. But the way we look at it, Frederick, is if you're going across the street to buy butter, can you get into an accident? Does a possibility exist? Yes, it does. Yeah. But there are efforts to mitigate, so that what do you do to make the probability of losing your cash, to lessen that, to reduce that? And that's what Novatech has done effectively. Okay. And somebody who will, many of your listeners may know a lot about cryptocurrency and Forex, and some of them are going to be beginners, and some will probably know not very much. But with the cryptocurrency market, it's, as you say, Pharaoh, in your introduction, we can't get away from it. It is here. The ride, it's crazy. Remember last year, this time, Bitcoin, for those who remember, Bitcoin was hailing at about 69,000. This year, it's down to about 16. It fluctuates between 17 and 25,000. But what does that really mean? If you have Bitcoin in your wallet and you've kept it, you know what? You would have lost value. But if you did not sell it, you have not lost your Bitcoin. So if you hang on to it and it goes back to 50, 59, 100,000, which is really what is expected to do, you're going to realize profits, right? So the crypto market it's 24/7, operates 24/7. Then there's the Forex market, which people call foreign exchange. I was in Jamaica 2 weeks ago. Before I left, I made sure I had some US dollars so I can exchange, because when you're in Jamaica, you get a better rate for the US than you do for the Canadian dollar. And for Forex, that's how companies trade and make money. It's the difference in value between one currency to the next. So you have currency pairs that are traded, and that's trading on an over $5 trillion industry called the Forex market, the Forex exchange. right? So what does Novatech do? They trade these two. They trade crypto and they trade
The
the Forex market. And the thing is, to mitigate risk, they train their traders. They don't use a lot of traders, and they make sure that they have a pool from which they can draw. They don't use many traders. If they interview 100 people, they shortlist it to 30, and they might end up hiring three or four.
Yeah.
Right?
And they own their own Meta5.
They
platform.
own, that's the other thing.
Yeah.
For people who understand trading, you can go online and just sign up with any platform to trade. What they did was they purchased their own MetaTrader 5 platform. That means they have control. They won't have rogue traders who can just do anything they wish, and they can't control what they're doing. That's another thing. The owner, Cynthia Pétion, she is a pastor. And as I said before, it's a Black family. Her husband, he looks about the legalities. Now, if you can imagine what a company will need to do to be, to be compliant in every state, in every province, in every country. Okay, so that's his portfolio. And Novatech is not available in every state in the US. There are about 5 states.
Right,
Including Texas,
Alaska, Hawaii, and
Montana,
Montana,
and
I
South
think
Carolina.
South Carolina, yes.
And that's because, like the US, just like the way they do their elections, the states have certain powers, and you will have to do the licensing to be compliant in every single state, and that's what they do. In Canada, so if you're in the US, if you're signed up on MetaTrader with Novatech, you're only trading cryptocurrency. In Canada, it's both. You're trading Forex and crypto, okay? And in different parts of the world, the licenses will be different. I know some countries are really crypto friendly. Is it Brazil?
Brazil,
That's using
Argentina.
crypto. Brazil is using Bitcoin
Yes. As a matter of fact,
as
Brazil.
currency.
Yeah, Brazil has a bank. I forgot the name of the
Or is
bank.
it Venezuela?
No, Brazil. Brazil has a bank, and I forgot the name. And that bank is owned by none other than Warren Buffett.
Oh, really?
Right? He has a good stake in that bank, and all that bank does is trade with cryptocurrency.
Right.
So when you hear Warren Buffett and them coming out against cryptocurrency, in my opinion, it's a hypocrisy. It's hypocrisy.
Yeah. It's here to stay.
Right.
And that's only scratching the. Remember when the internet first came around?
Yes.
And people were saying, oh, no, the internet, look at the internet now, try living. Most young people will give up their car before they give up their internet, right? At least my son has said that. So to tell you a little bit more about
Novatech?
not just Novatech, but I just wanted to talk a bit because this is what convinced me. It was listening to Cynthia Pétion. And of course, anyone listening, you can go online. What's the website?
For Cynthia?
No, for Novatech, novatechfx.com.
.com, right.
And you can really
You can do your
listen-
research, yeah.
listen to the interviews. Okay, listen to the interviews. And I actually printed a letter that she wrote. It is online, and she says, one of the best known secrets to success and building personal wealth is found in creating networks. And Pharaoh, that could be you saying that because of OFC
And the BNI.
and the BNI. It's
Right.
it's networks. And by building professional and personal relationships, Novatech's founders have come in touch with some of the most brilliant people in the world. That's how they got started. Doors and opportunities opened that they would not have been able to find on their own. And I just thought that was really powerful. And she said, when we developed Novatech, we decided on 2 things. First, we resolved that the program would be affordable to join, and that's what we're going to talk about as well, and available to anyone who wanted to participate. Now, I know I'm doing all the talking because we're both
No,
passionate
this is your
about
baby.
it.
This is your.
Yeah, but also, but I have to say, like one of the things that I like
Mm-hmm.
about the platform, about what you guys are doing, is that it's simple. And I think that last thing you just said, like making it accessible to everybody, because I know there's a lot of people who aren't familiar with that space, who aren't familiar with the crypto space, aren't familiar with that Forex that you guys mentioned and different things like that. But they do know there is a value to it. They do know they want to get involved. You know, so now like this amazing tool and this platform is now I want to say lowering the bar, but you know, for lack of a better term, but just making it easier for people to get in.
Yeah,
Yes.
it has lowered the bar for people that are in, for lack of a better term, less developed nations across the Caribbean, in South America, in countries on the African continent. A lot of them don't have big bank accounts. They cannot afford to come in with a lot of money. So it has made it a lot easier for someone with a cell phone who have $200, $300 that would like to invest and earn an income, create wealth. That is what Novatech has done.
And so how have they done that? They have certain packages, and we won't go into all the details, but the beginning package is actually from $99 to $500 to $499. That's how you can get in. But to be frank, when we encourage people to join Novatech, we said start with 500.
Yeah.
Different people will have different ways in which they do it, but that is what we advise, only because the company pays a return on investment, and they start paying that return on your investment when it's $500.
Yes.
All right. There's also a fee. They charge $25, full transparency, $25 each month. Once you're invested, after the second month, you'll pay that fee. Some people are saying, oh my God, that fee is high. Guess what? If you understand the industry, that fee is actually ridiculously low. All right. And what does that do? Once you're in, you can come in with 500 minimum. That's what we tell our folks. And from day one, if you join Novatech on a Tuesday, every Friday, you actually get a rate of return of it averages 3% every single week, 3% on a Friday.
And that's even if you were to join on Thursday evening,
you'll get a couple of dollars.
You'll get a couple of dollars on Friday.
Right.
Yeah. So that's how it is.
I saw my own account. We joined, and it was maybe 2 days after. I was like, oh, there's money. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Right.
And they've made it easy that you don't even have to spend time watching and thing, because now you can simply press a button and have it automatically compounded.
Right.
So the beauty about Novatech is the rate of return in which you get. I was talking with a banker relative of ours, and he said,
that's aggressive.
That is really aggressive. And I said, for a bank, it is ridiculously aggressive. Yeah. But for the crypto world, it's actually quite reasonable. Right? In the crypto space, people can make thousands of percentage because of how the markets work once you understand it. Right. So 3%, and they're not guaranteeing 3%. That's an average. They started in June 2019, and they have not missed a payout on a Friday since that date.
And the lowest we've received, that was back in May, 1 week in May. I think it might have been the first or second week in May. They paid out 0.65%. And that is because there were some crazy activities in the market. The market fell, and they were still able to pay out 0.65. Sometimes they pay 1.1, 1.18, as they did a couple of weeks ago, 1.18. But when you look at the average from 2019 to now, every week it has averaged out to about 3%.
Yeah, it's about 3.7, and we say to keep it modest.
To keep it modest, we say 3%.
Okay.
So I have a question. I mean, it sounds like it's great ROI there. When you're saying you're receiving these payouts on Friday, how easy is it to, I'm not saying invest and then take out money, but the whole purpose of us investing is to be able to eventually have our cushions when we need it.
Yes.
How easy is it to, if I do need a couple of $100 because I want to move my investments elsewhere or do some different stuff, how easy is it to have access to that money?
It's very easy, very, very easy. And I explained there are two ways it can be done. If you want to take money out from your principal,
Before you start
Yeah.
there, Frederick, I'm going to go back a little bit. When somebody joins Novatech,
oh yes, yeah,
right?
yeah, go ahead.
Or you want to go ahead and explain
Yeah.
when they join?
When you join Novatech, you have 14 days in which you could withdraw your money. You can cancel it.
For any
For
reason.
example, there might be an emergency. You shorten your rent and then you realize, okay, I should not have done this. So you have that 14-day period where you can say, I want to get out. There are no questions asked. From day 15 to day 90, if you want to take out money from your principal, there is a 15% charge that they will charge you, because by then they would have already set up the account and other people might have been paid under you. And so if you want to change your mind at that time from day 15 to day 90, there is a 15% charge that they will charge you. After day 90, you can take out any amount, anytime, whenever you want. There are no charges. So it's just that 90-day period that they have some restrictions, right?
And
Now, when
right.
it comes to answer your question directly, if at any time you'd like to take out money, there are two options you have. If you want to take it out from your principal investment, there is a 7 to 14-day wait period, because you're now removing money from what they are using in the
Trade
pool,
with them.
in the trade. However, if there is what you call a bonus account that you have, if you want to take money out of that, that is a 24-hour wait period.
Yeah.
Right.
And
So
it's-
instead of rolling over your weekly return on investment, you have an option. You can leave it there and you can take it out. That's a 24-hour wait period.
Okay. And with Novatech, it's how this is one of the things that people, once you get involved and you realize how easy it is to take your money, guess what? You can take all the money at any time.
Yes.
You can take some and leave some. You can compound it, or you can choose to leave it in the account.
Yeah.
Right? There is no restrictions as to how much or a waiting period.
Yeah.
You can add to your account at any point, or you can invest one time and just leave it.
Right.
We actually use we show people there's two ways to invest in Novatech. One is passive. And as a matter of fact, I think about 70%, most of the people involved are passive investors. What does this mean? You have $10,000 sitting in a line of credit or in a RSP or somewhere under your mattress, and it's doing nothing for you. You can take those funds, invest it in Novatech, and just leave it there for the next 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, or 6 months. That money will earn no matter how much you put. So whether you put 500 or like my friend who put 25,000, it doesn't matter. We're each getting
You get the same return on investment
the same return
every week.
every week.
Right.
Now, there's a second portion to Novatech, which is why we're having this meeting, because they have an affiliate program. It's 100% optional.
So now, and the thing is, and I feel it's and as we're going to transition into this, how now people could get in contact and what's coming up
Yeah.
next. It is something where the price, the cost or the investment that you make. I always like to tell people you shouldn't be putting your last of anything, because it's not
Thank
when
you.
you're investing. You don't want to actually put the money in and be like, oh shit, I need that for rent. It's not. It's not that.
Exactly.
It's not that kind of thing. You do want to be able to put aside a bit of money. Like I think the 500 US came to like 700 Canadian.
Yeah.
But it's you want to be able to put it there and put aside a set of funds that you don't. What's the term? Like that you could afford to lose. You know.
Yeah.
Although it's the same thing, but at least it'll give you that peace of mind that you're putting it in there, knowing that.
Yeah.
Right.
You're not going to need it for 6 months or a year or so. Just put it in there.
Invest what you can afford to
What you can
lose
afford
is
to
what
lose.
they say, or invest what you can comfortably sleep with at night.
That's it. Because a lot of us, our money is in bank accounts. That's why the bank's less aggressive and not making any kind of real interest. Like, you know, and like it's just there. The most I think you could invest in some GICs or whatever the case, and even that it's still on a monthly basis, and it's nothing close to what we're actually getting.
Right. And one of the ways people can do it, if one person cannot afford $500, and you have a few friends or relatives that you can put together and come up with that money, and then you register it under one person's name, because you're only allowed to open one account.
That's another safeguard.
Right.
So that's
no, another safeguard. So people won't bring in the dog and the, you know, and the dog's cousin and everything, right? So they're very strict with that. And and then when the money doubles, because it will double in about 7 months.
7 months.
Every 7 months it will double.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a pity we can't show you our compounding calculator. It's not possible to do that.
Well, not in this one, but
Not in
that's
this one.
this is the
But
joy
during the
of-
workshop.
All we're doing is giving people a little sample, a little nugget
Yeah.
Okay.
of what is to come
Right.
and what we're working on. We're also going to have you as one of our featured guests in the business team meeting where we'll be able to deep dive. But furthermore, we're actually setting up a workshop for the beginning of December. So this is why it's awesome to have you guys on now, so that the community who's hearing, who is interested, they could get involved. And so I'm putting it out there for those who are interested, who is hearing this and your ears are sparked and you're like, yo, I would like to get involved. We're setting this up for you all, because again, it's a lot of information. It wouldn't do it justice to do it now and try to cram it into like 30 minutes, whatever the case. But it's just to plant that seed for the community to be able to know that they exist.
And there's something I want to say, Pharaoh, just for folks listening. People might ask, what was our motivation?
Oh, yeah.
What was it that drove us to do this? Full disclosure, I'm 69 years old as of last September.
She's old.
And I wish I was like I wish I was like 27 years old. But you know, we've had our chances, been there, done that. Now at this point in he's much older, by the way. So we are now investing for a different reason than say you young folks up there, right? We already own the house, but there's still a small mortgage. In 3 years, that will be gone.
Right.
We're just yesterday, 5 of us, 5 couples, friends, we're planning the big trip to Africa in next year. We have a Novatech account for our vacation. All right. We have a Novatech account that will go towards our grandchildren. Forget about the children. What we did first, we said, we have 2 adult children. We showed them the program and said, you put your money in for yourselves. Their money has already doubled. The beauty about Novatech is once your money doubles, you can take out what you initially invested in 7 months and just leave what's there to compound and grow for the next however long. All right. So that was our motivation.
And the other part of our motivation was creating generational wealth. That is something we talk about among in the Black community, creating motivation, generational wealth. How do you do it? You got to have money to do it. And so if Novatech is offering an opportunity to do that, you know, with very little initial investment, I think is something that everybody should take a look at.
So this is like this is it. I think this gives the community the seed. They can't. Once we're all driving Lamborghinis, you can't say we didn't tell you. Okay, you can't.
There you go.
Everybody's there flossing and stunting on everybody. You can't say we didn't tell you. We created the opportunity.
Yeah.
We put it into the community to invite everybody to get involved, to find out more information. Now the ball's in everybody's court, in your court. So we mentioned the website. We can mention it again. It was Novatech FX.
I think what we would do, Pharaoh, is give them your
link.
Yes.
Oh, good point. So okay, so
give them your link.
Simple.
Yeah.
You can check out the Empower Hour on the Empower Hour page. We're gonna put the links on there. Just very simple.
Yeah.
The links on the page. So just check out the Empower Hour on Facebook is where we plug everything. members of the OFC and who are hearing, just get in contact with the OFC. If you're listening, like a lot of our listeners do, just reach out after the fact, 514-651-4545. You guys be surprised the amount of calls and messages I get from people who hear the show and they're like, yo, I want to get involved. So definitely use the same contact information as you guys always do, and get in contact with us, and we will be that bridge for you guys and put you on the list to come as guests if you want to come to the workshop that we're going to be hosting at the beginning of December. So now I want to thank you guys.
Just before you thank us, I don't know if I have one more minute. There's what I want to say to folks is that we work as a team. And it is so important to understand that, because for people who have no experience, they know nothing about crypto and how to actually fund your account. We have folks that we are training, that we'll take the time to hold your hands to make sure you get started and know what to do. After that, the rest is simple. All right. So
well said. Thank you for that. And that is huge. And that is definitely, it's necessary, because as you guys know, not everybody's at the same point when we talk investments, when we're talking crypto. So being able to take a person who is completely green, for lack of a better term, who has no idea, and walk them through the process. But then also just being able to send a person who knows what's up the link, and they could use their own
absolutely
get involved. Right. That is awesome as well. So again, so now what I like doing for all our guests is I like putting them on the spot and asking for empowering words. This is the Empower Hour. So as we're closing up our Parlay with the People segment, can you guys leave our listeners with some empowering words? I'm sorry, I didn't give you a heads up. So this is it. You are definitely on the spot.
That's your turn.
He has an African name, and it's Adwin, and it means deep thinker. So I'm going to let the deep thinker go first, and then I will. I'm throwing him under the bus.
He's throwing me under the bus. Well, seeing that you put me under the bus, what can I say? If you are thinking of creating opportunities, not just for yourself, but for those that you love, those that you care about, I think it's time for you to start thinking outside the box and capitalize on this opportunity.
Okay. What I would like to say has nothing to do with Novatech. It's about living life without limits. All right. I believe, like, for my 70th birthday, he won't join me, but I'm going to be doing the jump out of the plane thing. All right.
I'm not doing that. I'm
He's
sorry.
not doing that.
No.
But I believe that if you don't have continued excitement in your life, you're going to be doomed. You have to have things to think about.
But you have me.
I do believe you have to always have something to strive for. And like the young guys in Jamaica that try to pick you up, what do they say? They say age is just a number. And that's what I believe. I know I have kids. I have men in Jamaica could be my grandsons, and they're trying to pick you on the beach. And they say, oh, mom, age is just a number, right? But that is what I consider to be life. You have to have relationships. You have to have some key friends. You have to be family first, and love your grandchildren and give back when you can. And most of us cannot give back because we don't have enough. You must have something if you're going to give back with quality.
You got to have something.
So that's those are my words.
Guys, thank you for that. Thank you for those words. Thank you for the encouragement. Again, thank you for this opportunity that you're sharing with the community. Most importantly, we want to thank you for being guests with us today on our Parlay with the People. And again, we're looking forward to continued success in what you guys are doing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for this opportunity, Pharaoh. This has been a pleasure.
Kings and queens, this was the Empower Hour with Pharaoh Freeman, Queen Kaya, and Gina the Great. We are on live every Sunday from 7 to 9 p.m. and broadcasting Thursday mornings at 7 a.m. on CKUT 90.3 FM. Hopefully you got your dose of entertainment, enlightenment, and empowerment. Subscribe and watch us on empowermtl.com and email us at empowermtl@gmail.com to anonymously be featured on our What's the Tea Mail segment. Stay blessed, black, and highly favored.